Happy August, Patriots fans. This time last year, in August, the top liked video on Patriots Today by Chat Sports was 714 likes. I want to see if we can beat that right now on this video and just set the bar high for August. I know that Patriots football is right around the corner. Let's see if we can get 715 likes on today's video. Day 8 of Patriots training camp is officially underway, but I wanted to take some time to talk about 4 studs and 4 duds that I have seen through 8 practices for the New England Patriots. And just to preface, there's still a lot of time to go. These rankings can change every single day, but these are the players I have consistently seen be successful and consistently have a question mark hanging over them. I'm your host, Allie Barefoot. Let's go on ahead and hop into the studs, why don't we? I got to give it to the man, Javon Baker, the touchdown maker. My number 1 wide receiver heading into training camp was Jalen Polk. And Baker has now solidified himself in my eyes as wide receiver 1. There is no question he was a steal in round 4. I was talking to Giants Now host Marshall Green saying, man, I wish we got Javon Baker. Sucks to suck, the Patriots got him. And he is showing why people slept on him in the 4th round. This is the kid that said, I make people in wheelchairs stand up when I play. And he's living up to the hype. I'm going to give it to him. No, he's not perfect, but what I've seen so far in Patriots training camp is that he's more of a deep ball / secondary threat. If you pair him with the arm strength of Drake Maye or even Joe Milton, he's going to be successful. He has a knack for finding it over his shoulder, a nice back shoulder pass, but they're not really using him for a 10-yard first down, for a 15-yard second down. They're using him for a 3rd down, hauling ass downfield for a deep ball, and he's going to be a menace in the secondary. He's also beat out Christian Gonzalez, Austin, Hawkins. He has beat out the top cornerbacks and safeties for the New England Patriots in their top 10 defense in order to make a complete catch. This is what I'm liking about him. He still has room to grow, and that's great. So does Jalen Polk, who's also been playing phenomenally. Don't get it wrong, but Javon Baker has completely stolen my eyes. And plus, he's being used on the punt team as well. So he's showcasing his speed, he's showcasing his versatility, and that could be a real two-way threat if you do have him as your wide receiver 1. Also use him on the punt team as well. Drake Maye has big plans for Javon Baker in the future. And now when you have Baker and Polk, who are going to be a pretty nasty 1-2 punch. This was the 2nd round pick and the 4th round pick in the NFL draft. Having them in your receiver room, I think they're going to use Polk as more of a primary target, whereas Baker is going to be your big play maker. No pun intended. Another stud that I have seen, let's go to the defensive side of the ball, Keion White. He is living up to the standards he has set for himself in year 2. Not to mention, it's very hard to break through in this Patriots defense with how dominant they are. But against the run, Keion White is devouring everything in his sight. And it's unfortunate because the offensive line is not as dominant as the defensive line is, but Keion White is going to do this regardless of who is in front of him. That's what's so great. He is a dog. This guy is not worried about friendships. He is not worried about hurting your feelings. He is going to run through you like a bulldozer. Not to mention, he is working on the interior for the pass rush, which is extremely necessary when Christian Barmore is out. Barmore was your bright light in the pass rush last year. Now that he's out with blood clots, we don't know when he's going to return. We have Keion White working on the interior when the pass rush does come along, which needs a little bit of help because that run defense has always been the bright spot for the Patriots last season. He's the only player so far to have multiple sacks in camp. There's been 3 sacks on Drake Maye, 5 sacks on Jacoby Brissett, 1 sack on Joe Milton. Keion White is dominating when it comes to QB pressures and just putting hands on the quarterback, not fully sacking them. I mean, this is just training camp, but he's getting there. That's the key. Keion White is going to dominate this year. Please record me. Please stamp this. He is going to dominate because I will make this video in February when the Patriots season is done, and I will talk about how great Keion White was. That's what I'm seeing so far at training camp. So, if you think Keion White is going to lead the defense this year, going ahead and like this video. If he's going to pair up with Christian Barmore, Matthew Judon, Christian Gonzalez, Jelani Tavai, it's going to be another dominant year of Patriots defense. Hit that thumbs up button for me. But I got to give love to the offensive line when they do great things. Caedan Wallace. Notice how I already have 2 rookies in my studs out of 4 in Patriots training camp. Caedan Wallace has been taking the reps at left tackle, which is why he was drafted to come back to the left tackle side, which he has not played since early in college. Now Okorafor has switched over to the right side. They move Onwenu to the right guard, which I love. I think your guards need to be So and Onwenu. I think that's where your 1-2 punch really stands out in the offense. But Caedan Wallace has done a great job at left tackle, and honestly, I think he's making a case for the starting nod right there. He has locked up Keion White multiple times. In fact, when he went one-on-ones with Keion White, he was 3 for 3. You remember how I talked about Keion White eats up everything in his path? Well, Caedan Wallace is actually putting his big feet down and making a structure that is hard for Keion White to get through. That's who I want protecting my blind side. He still has some work to do. This is a growing offensive line, but I think Caedan Wallace is proving that he may be a long-term solution at left tackle, and Drake Maye seems to like him. He's been running with the starters. He's been running at left tackle 1, so I hope that he continues to prove himself on one-on-one battles and continues to grow in other areas. He's not perfect yet, but he could be a good solution. And then sticking here with a wide receiver, I got to give credit where credit's due. Tyquan Thornton. He has actually proved to be a pretty viable option for that 6 wide receiver on the Patriots 53-man roster. And I'll be honest, I was not on the Thornton train. I ruled him out. I said, this kid is not going to sign on the 53-man roster, maybe the practice squad. But this is why training camp proves that there is still something left in the tank. Tyquan Thornton is flashing quick hands. He's snagging high arcing touchdowns, and he's beating out Christian Gonzalez, Alex Austin, Jonathan Jones, Marcus Jones. He's still competing for that 6th spot. And if he keeps playing like this, absolutely the job should be his. He's been a stud so far. I don't know if I believe the hype just yet, but the way he's been playing, I think he's standing out in this wide receiver depth chart that's fighting for that 5th and 6th spot. Jalen Reagor is right ahead of him. I think Thornton has played a little bit better than Reagor in some regards, but I'm not there just yet. I need to see Thornton in a preseason game to really see how he's going to go in an NFL season. So with that being said, who will be in the top 6 wide receiver room for the New England Patriots? Who's going to be on the practice squad? And who's going to be traded? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Before I hop on over to the dud side of this video, I do want to tell you guys about GameTime, my only source of getting tickets to the latest sporting events near me. If you're looking for last-minute tickets and even the best flash deals possible, go to GameTime. If you're looking for a view of where you're going to be sitting and how close you're going to be to the action, go to GameTime. If you want the lowest price guaranteed on tickets to your event, go to GameTime. I'm not kidding. If you want to go see the Astros versus the Red Sox next week at Fenway Park, you can literally get a ticket right now for $85 in the outfield, and they'll show you everything that you will be seeing from this spot. Can't make it to the Astros game? Don't worry about it. They've got all of the season right in front of you if you want to go see the Boston Red Sox one more time at Fenway before the Patriots come to town. All you guys have to do is download GameTime, create an account, and use promo code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase while terms do apply. I'm going to start it off really hot here. Drake Maye is on my duds list, and that sucks so bad. I do not want him in this category, but man, he is not performing the way I thought he was going to. Not to mention, longtime Boston sports reporter Michael Holley called him the ghost of Mac Jones. That is an insult, in my opinion. Saying that Mac Jones is out there, but he's just doing everything wrong. That's what he's saying Drake Maye looks like out there. And that could be a fabrication. That could obviously not be true. That's just one man's opinion. But from what I've seen a lot of terrible passes and really bad decisions. He's going up against a top 10 NFL defense, and he is not trying to work around them. it's just not showing me QB mentality up here. He's had some great plays. He has. And he's had some very nice bombs. But overall, I'm still not seeing what I want to see out of Drake Maye. Even Joe Milton has won the camp crowd over. I mean, the kid is showcasing his athleticism everywhere he possibly can. He's doing backflips after completing passes. He is 3 years older than Drake Maye is, so he's, been playing football for a little bit longer. But Joe Milton seems to have won people over when it comes to QB2. Not saying Drake Maye's not QB2, but it may not be looking good for him. But another dud, Matthew Judon. This list already, it breaks my heart. We've only seen Matthew Judon on day 7 of training camp. How can I put him in the studs when I have nothing to go off of except for Judon walking around in a t-shirt, shorts, and flip-flops? It's drama. That's what's putting him on my duds list. It's not what I wanted from Judon at a training camp. He is, without a doubt, the best defensive player on that field. But because he has taken the dramatic route, because he's decided to not fully participate, I haven't seen that except for one day in training camp, which breaks my heart. So I hope something does come to fruition, which he says right now he's in a good place with the Patriots, so hopefully more Judon highlights are to come. My man Joey Slye is actually on my duds list. I really thought he'd beat out Chad Ryland for the kicker spot, but Ryland is proving that he has something in his bag. Joey Slye, obviously coming most recently from the Washington Commanders. They added in Joey Slye just to kind of make the competition a little bit harder for Ryland, who did not really succeed in his first year in the NFL. And Mike Reese tweeted out, the end of practice, they had a field goal competition, attempts between 32 and 49 yards. Slye, 3 for 4. He missed a 39-yard field goal wide left. Chad Ryland, 4 for 4. And to date, in full team drills, Slye is 10 of 13. Ryland is 12 of 13. I got to give credit where credit's due. Ryland, you keep doing that damn thing. This is why the Patriots brought in Slye, is to make Ryland work a little bit harder. Show me you can do better than a veteran in the NFL, and that's what he's doing. But Joey Slye, if you want to stay on the Patriots, you better start making your damn field goals. The last dud that I have to talk about is JuJu Smith-Schuster. I didn't have high hopes for JuJu coming into training camp, but he has pretty much proved me right in all of my underwhelming hopes for JuJu. He had a slow start to training camp, and he is fighting for that 6th spot on the 53-man roster, and he gave me nothing in the first week. Not to mention, after a play where he missed a catch, he walked gingerly off the field. We know JuJu has dealt with injuries. He even spoke to media about it, and he said, I'm not going to lie, that one hurt, but, we got to work through it. So now you're telling me he's missing catches, he's dropping passes, and he's going to get hurt? It's a no from me, dog. But overall, in all the duds and all the studs, there are plenty of time and opportunities to prove me wrong, to prove everybody right or wrong in training camp. Preseason is less than 1 week away. We still have time to go, but these are just consistent studs and consistent duds that I have seen so far through 8 days of Patriots training camp. Now it's your turn. Who are your studs and duds so far in Pat's training camp? Go on ahead, comment it down below, and as always, hit that sub button on Patriots Today by Chat Sports.